Imagine, just for a second, spending an entire month, like hand carving a single dining room chair.
Oh, wow, just one chair.
Just one. You're out there in the forest, sourcing the perfect wood, doing all the rough cuts yourself,
Right.
and then meticulously sanding down every single corner by hand, carefully applying the varnish, and then just sitting there waiting for it to dry.
Sounds pretty exhausting, honestly.
It is. I mean, the end result is undeniably beautiful, right?
Yeah.
It's highly crafted. It's deeply personal.
Yeah, but it's agonizingly, painfully slow.
Exactly. And if your ultimate goal is to furnish a whole stadium, you are absolutely going to fail.
Because you just run out of hours in the day. The craftsmanship might be there, sure, but the scale is practically non-existent.
Right. And that is exactly how most people approach personal branding. It's treated like this artisanal craft that is completely bottlenecked by your own physical and mental capacity.
Which is a huge problem if you're trying to grow.
It is. But today we are taking a custom deep dive into a source that completely shatters that bottleneck.
I'm really looking forward to this one.
Me too. We're looking at excerpts from Module 9 of Architecting Your AI Personal Branding System.
Yes.
And the mission for our deep dive today, specifically for you listening, is to extract the practical blueprint for transforming your solo personal brand from that slow, hand-carved furniture shop into like a high-output, fully automated digital factory.
A factory. I like that.
We're talking about taking the essence of who you are and scaling it with AI machinery.
What's fascinating here is that the source text, it doesn't treat AI as some vague, abstract concept,
Right. It's not just theory.
Exactly. We aren't just talking about typing a quick prompt into a chat window to get a clever tweet.
Yeah, everyone does that.
Right. The material provides a highly structured, almost rigid operational blueprint.
It really does.
I mean, it is essentially an engineering document for personal expression. And that requires a massive philosophical shift in how a solo creator actually manages their time.
Because building a factory requires a floor plan, right?
Absolutely.
You can't just buy a bunch of robotic arms, throw them in an empty warehouse, and just, hope a finished car rolls out the other end.
You just have a mess.
Yeah, exactly. You need an assembly line. And logically, that takes us straight into the day-to-day mechanics of this whole thing.
The schedule.
Yeah, the source outlines a very specific Monday through Friday weekly workflow to structure this entire machine.
And honestly, the rigidity of this schedule is actually its greatest strength. It assigns a singular focus to every single day.
Okay, let's unpack this weekly workflow, this factory floor, if you will.
Let's do it.
So Monday is entirely dedicated to AI content generation. Tuesday is strictly for video creation.
Okay.
Wednesday is for posting. Thursday is reserved for engagement. And finally, Friday is designated for lead follow-ups.
It's very clean.
It is. And looking at this Monday to Friday breakdown, it immediately hit me. This is literally just the ultimate form of digital meal prepping.
Oh, that is a brilliant way to conceptualize the mechanics at play here.
Right. Because if you think about, like, traditional meal prepping, the whole point is to avoid that panic on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, when you're staring into the fridge.
Completely exhausted from work.
Yeah.
And you end up just ordering expensive takeout because the friction of cooking is just too high.
We've all been there.
So instead, you batch all the ingredients on a Sunday. You do all the chopping, the roasting, you put everything in those little glass containers.
Right.
Then when Wednesday rolls around, you just open the fridge and serve. And this weekly workflow is doing the exact same thing for your brain.
It really is.
Instead of scrambling to think of a clever post, shooting a video, editing it, writing a caption, posting it, and then trying to reply to comments every single day.
Which is just a recipe for creative burnout.
Completely.
Right.
Instead of that, you batch the cooking on Monday and Tuesday, you generate the text, you shoot the videos.
Yep.
Then for the rest of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you are literally just serving the meals and interacting with your guests.
And if we look at the cognitive science behind why separating these tasks is so critical, it really comes down to the immense cost of context switching.
Context switching. Yeah.
Because every time your brain switches from a creative generative task, like writing or ideating, to an administrative task, like scheduling posts.
Or replying to a comment.
Exactly. You burn a massive amount of cognitive fuel. There is a heavy friction there.
Wow, yeah.
So by dedicating Monday purely to generation, you aren't worried about how many likes a post has. You aren't formatting, you are just generating.
Let's actually drill down into that Monday generation block a little further, because this is where the AI actually comes in.
Right.
Because when you say generating, The mechanic here isn't just a human sitting at a keyboard typing out a week's worth of posts from scratch.
No, not at all.
You are using AI as, like, the sous chef in this meal prep scenario.
Precisely. On Monday, your job isn't writing. Your job is directing the AI. But to do this effectively, you have to train it. The source implies a system where you are feeding the AI your previous successful post, your specific frameworks.
Or even just like a raw brain dump of your thoughts.
Exactly. You are building a custom knowledge base. So your prompt on Monday isn't just write a post about marketing.
That would be too generic.
Way too generic. It is pull from my framework on digital marketing, adopt my sarcastic but educational tone, and generate 5 short-form posts arguing against traditional advertising.
So you are bringing the raw ingredients,
Yeah.
your unique perspective and expertise, and the AI is doing all the tedious chopping and dicing.
Yep.
And then Tuesday is video creation. And again, this doesn't mean you're spending 10 hours editing footage, right?
No, you're not a full-time editor.
Right. You might spend 2 hours filming the A-roll, the actual speaking parts, and then feeding that into AI tools that automatically remove the silences, generate the captions, and even pull in relevant B-roll footage.
You are batching the heavy lifting. And because you did all of that heavy lifting on Monday and Tuesday, well, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday become incredibly lightweight.
The serving days.
Exactly. The brain becomes exponentially more efficient because it is only asked to be in one specific mode at a time. The friction is gone.
It totally protects your creative energy.
Yeah.
But, okay, if you execute this digital meal prep perfectly, week after week, what actually comes out the other end of the factory?
The outputs.
Yeah, the outputs.
Yeah.
Because when we move from the daily inputs to the monthly outputs, the numbers outlined in the source are staggering.
They really are.
We are talking about a 30-day cycle that produces 50-plus written posts, 20-plus videos, operates an automated lead system, and relies heavily on performance tracking.
The output metrics are indeed aggressive. It is a massive step up from what any normal solo creator even attempts to do.
See, and this is where I actually have to push back a little.
Okay, let's hear it.
Because if you are listening to this right now, 50-plus posts and 20-plus videos a month sounds absolutely exhausting, even with AI helping out.
I mean, it sounds like a lot.
It's almost 2 posts every single day and practically a new video every weekday.
Sure.
Doesn't this run the severe risk of turning your personal brand into, like, a spam bot? I mean, we've all seen those accounts that just churn out endless, soulless, AI-generated drivel that prioritizes sheer quantity over quality.
It is a highly valid concern. I mean, if you simply use AI to mass-produce generic thoughts, the quality will absolutely plummet.
Right. And your audience will tune out.
Exactly. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, the text specifically pairs these high-volume output metrics with 2 critical mechanical safety nets to prevent exactly that.
Okay, the safety nets.
Yes, the performance tracking and the automated lid system.
Let's talk about that performance tracking then, because I realize it isn't just a scoreboard at the end of the month telling you, how many likes you got.
Not at all.
It is more like a steering wheel. Every single one of those 50 posts the AI makes is like sending out a scout into the algorithm.
That is exactly how you have to view the volume. The volume isn't the end goal. The volume is the data gathering mechanism.
Right. The analytics basically tell the scout if they found gold or if they hit a dead end.
Exactly.
And then that data reprograms the AI for the next day. Like, if a specific hook on a video underperforms, you don't just guess why.
You have the data.
Yeah, you take that data back to your Monday generation block. You tell the AI, hey, the aggressive hooks didn't work last week. Let's adjust the temperature of the prompt. Let's make the tone more inquisitive.
So you are basically running 50 micro experiments every month.
50 micro experiments.
Wow, and that feedback loop is the true power of the system.
Right.
The tracking tells the system how to refine the AI prompts for the next cycle, ensuring that the quality and the relevance actually improve over time rather than degrade.
Okay, that makes sense.
You are teaching the machine to be a better version of you based on real-world feedback.
And then there's the second safety net, the automated lead system.
Yes, which ensures that when one of those 50 micro experiments inevitably hits the jackpot and goes viral, your business doesn't completely break.
Because if you get like 10,000 new views and 500 direct messages in an hour, a human being literally cannot process that.
Exactly. The automated lead system captures that resulting interaction and processes it without requiring your immediate manual intervention.
That's amazing.
It categorizes the leads, sends the appropriate welcome materials, and then schedules the follow-ups for your Friday block.
See, achieving these massive monthly numbers and actually managing them without having a nervous breakdown brings us to the ultimate goal of all of this.
Scaling.
Exactly. It's about scaling your brand. The source identifies 3 specific benefits that this AI system unlocks: personal branding at scale, a multi-platform presence, and team-level productivity.
Team-level productivity.
Here's where it gets really interesting for anyone trying to apply this. I want to zero in on that phrase, team-level productivity, because traditionally, to output 50 posts, edit 20 videos, manage a lead generation funnel, and run data analysis on 50 micro-experiments, you would need a literal staff.
You would need a copywriter, a dedicated video editor, a social media manager, and probably a data analyst.
Right.
It would be a significant payroll.
But this blueprint is saying that you are no longer the lone artisan in the woodshop hand-carving the chair.
Not anymore.
You are essentially stepping into the role of a CEO of a digital team. The AI is playing the role of your entire staff.
It's doing the legwork.
Yeah, it's drafting the copy, cutting the video, pulling the analytics. So your job isn't to do the labor. Your job is to direct the resources and set the vision.
And making that psychological transition from artisan to CEO highlights a fascinating tension in the material.
What do you mean?
Well, there is an inherent paradox in the very phrase personal branding at scale.
Oh, right.
Historically, those two concepts are diametrically opposed,
Yeah, to scale something means to mass produce it, to standardize it, to remove the variance.
Exactly. But a personal brand relies heavily on intimacy, individual quirks, and the feeling of a one-to-one connection.
Normally, as a brand gets bigger, it dilutes exactly what makes it personal. The bigger the audience gets, the less it feels like the creator is actually talking to you.
It starts to feel corporate.
Exactly.
But AI fundamentally bridges this gap by allowing you to scale the reach without diluting the voice.
How so?
Let's look at the multi-platform presence aspect.
Okay.
Normally, a solo creator simply cannot maintain an authentic presence on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and a newsletter simultaneously.
No way. They end up just copying and pasting the exact same video everywhere, which always feels lazy.
Or they burn out trying to manually rewrite everything for each platform's specific culture.
Right. The Instagram caption doesn't work on LinkedIn.
Precisely. But with this system, the human provides the core insight on Monday. Then the AI acts as the translation layer.
Oh, I see.
You prompt it to take that core insight and adapt it. So it writes a professional thought leadership breakdown for LinkedIn. It scripts a punchy, visually driven hook for a TikTok video. It condenses it into a witty 280-character observation for X.
Wow. So you are maintaining a ubiquitous, multi-platform presence, appearing to speak the native language of every platform, because the AI is mimicking your established voice and style at a volume you could never physically match.
Exactly. The system allows the distribution to scale without requiring the human to stretch themselves so thin that they break.
It is the ultimate form of leverage. You are putting the absolute best, most refined version of your thoughts into the top of the funnel on Monday, and the machine is translating that into a multi-platform empire by Wednesday.
A multi-platform empire. I like that.
Okay, we've talked about the weekly floor plan, we've talked about the massive monthly outputs, and we've talked about the philosophy of stepping up as a digital CEO.
Yeah.
Now we really need to pivot from the high-level philosophy to the immediate practical reality.
The action steps.
Right. If you are listening to this and you are sold, you want to turn the key and start this engine today, what exactly are the first steps?
Well, the source doesn't leave us hanging. It provides 5 very specific practical exercises to get the system off the ground immediately.
Walk us through them.
The module concludes by challenging the reader to execute 5 specific tasks to build the muscle memory required for the system.
Okay, number 1.
Number 1, generate 10 Instagram posts using AI.
Okay, pretty straightforward.
Number 2, create 5 reel scripts. Number 3, build a 7-day content calendar.
Got it.
Number 4, set up WhatsApp auto replies. And number 5, create 1 AI-generated video.
Looking at this list, what stands out to you listening? To me, it feels like a very deliberate progression.
That really is.
You start with basic text generation on step 1, just generating 10 Instagram posts, purely to get over the fear of the blank page and, practice prompting the AI for your voice.
Yes, starting small.
Then step 2 pushes you a little further. Creating 5 real scripts means you are now using AI to structure a narrative. You're moving from a static image caption to designing a beginning, a middle, and an end.
And then step 3 forces you to organize it all.
The calendar.
Building a 7-day content calendar takes those raw materials you just generated in steps 1 and 2 and maps them onto that Monday through Friday weekly workflow.
You're officially taking the ingredients and putting them into the meal prep containers.
Exactly.
But step 4. Step 4 is what really catches my eye.
The WhatsApp auto replies?
Setting up WhatsApp auto replies. I honestly think this is the absolute sneaky hero of the entire list. It is the defensive line for your personal time.
Let's expand on how that actually works in practice. Why is an auto reply the defensive line?
Because the first 3 steps are entirely about output, right? Generating posts, writing scripts, organizing a calendar.
Right.
That is the factory producing goods and putting them out into the world. But if you successfully scaled your brand and you suddenly have 50 posts going out every month.
The natural consequence is an influx of incoming traffic.
Exactly. People are going to message you, and if you are still answering every single WhatsApp message manually, reading each one, typing out a custom response.
Then you haven't built an automated factory.
No, you've just built a highly efficient trap for yourself. You will literally be buried in your phone 24/7.
It becomes a victim of your own success scenario.
Precisely. The auto-reply acts as the first layer of that automated lead system we discussed earlier.
Okay.
And mechanically, we aren't just talking about like an out-of-office message that says, I'm busy.
No, it's smarter than that.
Way smarter.
Yeah.
A smart WhatsApp automation can use keyword recognition or basic API routing.
Like, how?
So if someone messages you the word consulting because of a call to action in your video, the auto-reply instantly triggers, acknowledges their specific interest, sends them a link to your calendar, and sets the expectation that you review new inquiries on Fridays.
Because Friday is your lead follow-up day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It catches the traffic, categorizes it, and protects your focus, all while you are out walking your dog or sleeping.
That's brilliant.
It is the necessary infrastructure that makes the massive output through the rest of the system sustainable.
It shifts the creator's mindset from simply creating content to actively managing a system.
Right.
And that naturally sets up the final challenge. The staircase culminates in exercise 5, creating one AI-generated video.
The final boss.
Yes, this requires full multimedia execution. It forces you to bring together the script you generated, the AI tools for editing, or perhaps even an AI avatar, the visual elements, and your brand identity into one finished product.
Bringing it all together.
By the time you complete step 5, you have successfully run a micro version of the entire monthly growth plan. You've proven the factory actually works.
So what does this all mean for you listening? When we look at this entire source text, from the rigid Monday to Friday schedule, to the use of analytics as scouts, to the massive monthly goals, right down to these 5 practical steps.
There's a lot to take in.
It is, but it becomes incredibly clear that this isn't just about learning a few prompt tricks on a new tech tool.
No, it's a paradigm shift.
It is a fundamental restructuring of how you operate as a professional. We are moving entirely away from the old school belief that if you want to grow your brand, you just have to hustle harder, sleep less, and grind more.
That way only leads to burnout.
Exactly. This is about turning individual effort into a scalable team-level enterprise. It is about realizing that you no longer have to be the craftsman slowly hand-carving every single chair.
Yeah.
You have the tools right now to be the architect of the factory.
This raises an important question, though, a deeper philosophical one to leave you with.
Okay.
If you successfully implement this blueprint, if you master the workflow, if your AI system is generating your 50 posts, flawlessly scripting your 20 videos, managing your multi-platform presence in your exact tone of voice, and intelligently automating your replies to new leads,
Yeah.
you have essentially built a highly efficient, high-output digital clone of your professional self.
A digital clone that never needs a coffee break and never sleeps.
Precisely. But as your brand scales to team-level productivity entirely through the use of this AI clone, where does the truly human element of your personal brand reside?
Well, that's heavy.
If the AI is doing the writing, the editing, the analyzing, and the responding, what is the core essence that makes it fundamentally yours? Does the system itself eventually become the brand? Or will there always be a strict necessity for the artisan's touch, even inside the fully automated factory?
That is a fascinating thought to chew on. Where do you end and where does the machinery begin?
Exactly.
Well, we want to thank you so much for joining us on this custom deep dive into architecting your AI personal branding system.
It's been great.
I highly encourage you to take those first 5 practical steps today. Build that 7-day calendar. Generate those first 10 posts to find your voice. And seriously, set up those WhatsApp auto replies to guard your time.
Guard your time.
Reclaim your schedule, step fully into the role of the CEO, and stop hand carving the furniture. Until next time, keep building.